You guys told me NFL or American football games can be played in the snow. And I was quite shocked. I mean, like when I first saw it in that first video that games could be played on the snow, on the field. Like I get it if it's like ice hockey, but like a field game in the snow, I was very, very shocked when I first heard that. But you guys confirmed it to me that that is the case. That is, it's a normal stuff that is not really out of the ordinary. So this was one of the video suggestions that you guys told me to check out, and we're going to get straight to it. But before we get straight to it, do all that good stuff. Subscribe to the channel, and also if you like this reaction, hit that like button. I'll really appreciate it. And let's get to it.
You can plan a pretty picnic, but you can't predict the weather. Weather has left its mark on some of the biggest moments in NFL history that changed the complexion of the league forever. Today, we count down the 10 craziest weather games in NFL history. The Grapple Game. The Great Lakes don't spare anyone. As the Raiders left the dry desert of Las Vegas, they had no clue what they were walking into. It was a wet and wild game against Cleveland. Temperatures opening at 40 degrees. 40 miles per hour wind put the chill around 20 degrees below freezing. The result? Sleeting rain, or grapple. Now, before you go click on a new tab, here's the definition of grapple. Granular snow pellets, basically soft hail. On the opening drive, Raiders kicker Daniel Carlson lined up and booted a perfect 41-yard field goal right down the pipe. Until it wasn't. The ball took a left turn into the stands. Blown away. No Lance Stevenson in sight. The wind never let up, ending any hopes of a passing attack for Carr or Mayfield. The teams combined for 234 passing yards, and the wind kept a Cody Parkey field goal from making it a one-score game. The Raiders ran as fast as they could out of Cleveland with the 16-6 win. Rain, snow, grapple, oh my. The Wind Game. There's games where teams had to deal with strong winds. Then there's the Wind Game. The 49ers and Bears met in '05 in Soldier Field. The wind took over the game from the jump. It wouldn't matter if it was the starting quarterback, Chicago's Kyle Orton, or the fourth stringer, San Fran's Cody Pickett. Trying to throw a ball was comical. 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts that switched directions on a whim made it impossible to do anything.
How can you play?
Hats on or accurately snapping.
One of the reasons why, like, I was very shocked when I first heard that was that, you know, like the weather can affect the movement of the ball, like whatever. But except the ball is very heavy, but even like in soccer now, like if it's too windy, it can affect everything. Like also passing the ball on the field, you know. Maybe I can understand why this could be possible in the NFL, but in soccer is practically almost impossible because how are the players supposed to pass the ball? Because the ball is on the ground most of the time. So how are the players supposed to pass the ball? The ball is not going to be moving. It's going to be affecting because players have muscle memory. So you know that if I kick this ball at this particular force, my teammate is going to get it at that particular point. You know, so with that snow on the ground, it's going to affect how the ball moves. So it's just going to cause it's just going to be messy all around. It's going to be messy all around. So not messy like the Messi, like messy. So it's almost impossible in soccer, but I can get in the NFL since the football is not on the ground a lot, so you just need people to run. So maybe it doesn't really affect as much, I guess.
Punts. Even the automatic kicker Robbie Gould was no match for the wind, shoving his attempt 30 yards off its spot. Trash flew throughout the stadium. Players couldn't even stand up. San Fran lined up for a 52-yard field goal. It obviously was short after a strong gust caught it. Bears corner Nathan Vasher caught the kick over his shoulder and darted to his left before reversing field behind a convoy of Bears blockers. Vasher's return touchdown set the record for longest play in NFL history at 108 yards. It would be the only big play the wind would allow, with the Bears winning 17-9. The Leon Lett Game.
Leon Lett.
It would take a rare Dallas snowstorm to bring one of the most blizzard finishes in NFL history.
Wow.
It was a Thanksgiving game like no other. a 5-degree day when the Cowboys faced off against the Dolphins. It set the stage for one of sport's biggest blunders. Up 14-13 with seconds remaining, Miami kicker Pete Stoyanovich lined up for the game-winning 41-yard kick. A Dallas defender knifed through and blocked a piece of the ball. Dallas wins, right? As the ball died harmlessly on the snow,
you see what I was
Leon
saying?
inexplicably tried to dive and save a ball he didn't need to. If he did nothing, the game ends. Instead, Miami would get a new life and a second kick from the 1-yard line.
You see, that was why. You see what I'm saying?
The pickle
See what I'm
juice game.
saying? He was
Most crazy
confused.
weather
You see what,
games deal with-
you see what just happened there, guys? Except I'm getting it wrong, but I think that was a goal, right? But due to the snow, he could not. Maybe he didn't see it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I misunderstood that. Guys, correct me in the comments below. Let me know.
Frigid temperatures and wind, but the 2000 season opener between Dallas and Philly brought on Hades himself. The temperature in Texas Stadium read 109 scorching degrees, the hottest in NFL history. Come to think of it, the Cowboys don't have much luck when it comes to crazy weather games. The two teams were even on paper, but there was one X factor that no one accounted for: pickle juice. Philly downed pickle juice before the game, keeping McNabb and the Birds fresh while Dallas cramped under the Texas heat wave. It didn't take long before Philly was taking it to Dallas. As Cowboys dropped like flies, the Eagles soared to a 41-14 dominating win with over 200 punishing yards on the ground. The Blizzard Bowl. Behind all that snow, you can see McCoy torching the Lions. An intense snowstorm dropped on the East Coast just an hour before kickoff of a Week 14 matchup between the Eagles and the Lions. 6 inches of snow stopped anybody from cutting, tackling, or even attempting a field goal. The two stars of the game, Eagles running back LaShawn McCoy and Lions receiver Jeremy Ross, combined for 4 50-plus yard TDs. That's simply because the footing was so bad. If you caught the seam, no one was going to tackle you. Trying to juke a defender was a waste of time.
You can't juke anybody.
Just getting the snaps. Running backs couldn't keep their hands on the wet ball, and running into
Look at
complicated
this.
routes was a surefire
What
way
the
to
fuck?
slip and fall. The fourth quarter went to the Eagles behind McCoy, who was kicking up snow
This is
like
crazy,
a
man.
snowplow as he
This
charged
cannot be
into
real.
the end zone.
What?
It was honestly one of the coolest games in recent history.
Really?
The Mud Bowl.
I mean, it would be cool. Like,
The 1990
don't get me wrong. This, like, obviously drama sells. So imagine seeing these players just toiling on the field can be very interesting to watch. But man, like, I would like to think it's not really that safe for them. But I guess it's part of what they signed up for.
divisional game between the Packers and the 49ers became what every kid dreamed of in his backyard, an absolute slop fest. It was as glorious as it sounds. Two teams filled with legends of our game slipping and sliding all throughout the mud. Temperatures dipped and rose around near freezing, causing a disgusting slosh of rain and snow, creating a huge tractionless puddle of mud. And it got muddier and muddier as the game went on. The teams combined for 7 turnovers. The X factor was Green Bay's Desmond Howard. While everyone looked like they were literally stuck in mud, Howard had 3 massive punt returns. 2 he scored on, and 1 that led to a Favre touchdown. The field was so muddy, Howard had to start slowing down as he broke the plane of the end zone, slipping as he broke out his signature Heisman pose. The Packers easily took the game 35-14 behind Howard, who would end up being Super Bowl MVP in '96. The Freezer Bowl. The 1981 AFC Championship game found the Chargers and Bengals competing for a shot at the Super Bowl in the coldest wind chill game ever recorded. The negative 59-degree wind chill was especially shocking to the Chargers, who played Miami in 88-degree heat just a week before. That's a difference of 147 degrees playing time temperature. The wind and cold was so bad the Bengals elected to kick off both halves and put the wind behind them. It's one of only 8 times that ever happened. The strategy paid off as they led the entire game. Players' breathing looked like car exhausts in the winter. Bengals QB Ken Anderson dominated like it was 60 degrees, not 60 below, throwing them to an AFC championship and their first Super Bowl berth. The Fog Bowl.
Fog.
The beginning of the Fog Bowl was much like any other divisional playoff game, highly contested and entertaining. The Bears led Philly 17-9 at half. When they came back out, neither team could see their opponents. A massive cloud of fog rolled in right on the playing field. Camera
Look at
crews
this.
and
Can you even see
announcers,
anybody?
fans in the stands, coaches on the sideline, no one could see the action of the game. Referees announced the down and distance before every snap
What?
for the rest of the game. With the thickness of the fog, they halted play before the second half.
Of course, you have to
kickoff and
halt
asked
it,
both
man.
teams
You
if they
can't say
wanted to
anything.
postpone the game. Neither rival budged. It was a grudge match between longtime friends and rivals, Buddy Ryan and Mike Ditka. The eerie game continued. Players said it was like entering a new dimension. In the Twilight Zone, the Bears held on to their lead to beat the Eagles. Without being able to see the guy next to them, they banded together to win 2012.
Wow, that is
The
crazy,
Tuck Rule
man.
game. A massive snowstorm covered Foxborough, the setting we would need for one obscure rule to change the direction of football and create a dynasty. The upstart Patriots with Tom Brady took on a star-studded Raider team in the playoffs. The weather changed at the very last second, from just a regular January game to 4 inches of snow coming down in just 2 hours. The result was a game right out of your grandma's favorite snow globe. It was perfect for playoff football. Driving down for the game-winning score, Charles Woodson blindsided Tom Brady, knocking the ball out for the Raiders to recover and win, or so they thought. The refs reviewed it and stated that because the QB didn't tuck the ball away, it would be ruled an incomplete pass. With newfound life, the Pats would win the game and their first Super Bowl that season. Now infamously named the Tuck Rule game, the controversial rule is still brought up between fans nearly 20 years later. The Ice Bowl. The Green Bay Packers and Dallas Cowboys met for the 1967 NFL Championship on New Year's Eve in Green Bay. Little did they know they were about to play in the coldest game in NFL history. How cold? At game time, it was negative 15 degrees Fahrenheit with an average wind chill of minus 36 degrees Fahrenheit. To put that in perspective, a couple of things happened. The marching band dropped from their pregame and halftime shows when literally 7 of their members were sent to the hospital for hypothermia.
Wow.
The game was so frigid, referees refused to use their whistles after the opening kickoff and just yelled loudly when a player was down instead. All it took was the head ref ripping the skin of his lips off on a whistle. Instead of scabbing up, the blood just froze
That's
right to
crazy,
his lips.
man.
Cowboys running back Dan Reeves recalls just how bad it was. I got up and my face mask was gone. I didn't know what...
Guys, you know why this thing is so funny to me sometimes? Because, like, I've never experienced a snow, so I don't really know how it feels. Like, does it feel like you're inside a freezer? I know this may sound funny. This may sound funny to you guys. Like, like I used to think about it. Like, those are like the snow looks like, you know, the stuff that you see in the freezer. You know, what do they call that stuff? Like on the freezer, like the freezer stuff. You know what I'm talking about? And like, and you guys are in the midst of it. Like, so when you have this kind of weather, does it feel like you're inside the freezer, for example? Like, I mean, I would like to know. Tell me down in the comments, because like this, you said if he blows the whistle, like his lips could tear off. How cold could it be? How cold could it be that it could have that kind of effect on your lips, man? Like, that is crazy, man. I mean, you guys are inside freezers. That's what you're trying to tell me. That's what you're trying to tell me. Seriously, you're inside freezers. I mean, but I don't know whether maybe being in this equatorial sun, you know, it's not even, maybe I probably prefer the freezer. Who knows?
happened, but I needed to replace my mask. When I got to the Sunlight heater, blood started gushing everywhere. A tooth went through my upper lip and didn't bleed. Now that's cold, but that's only half of it. The Packers' state-of-the-art turf heating system kicked the bucket the morning of the game. So not only was it the coldest game ever, moisture on the field froze right on top. A thick sheet of ice replaced the gridiron, and the Packers and Cowboys were now playing football on a hockey rink. The conditions only grew worse as the game went. The sheet of ice growing thicker and the wind chill dropping as shadows casted on the field. Once holding a 14-0 lead, the Packers were now down 17-14, with just one drive left to three-peat. That led to what became known as The Block, where Jerry Kramer opened a wedge for legendary QB Bart Starr to sneak into. If he failed, time would expire. Stars in! Stars in! All 50,000 of the insane Packer backers stormed the icy field and tore down the goalpost. The Ice Bowl set the stage for the NFL rise to America's sport.
Damn, that is crazy, man. Wow, guys. You know, I was just like, I mean, I don't know the full picture because I've never experienced the snow. So like, my judgment about this video could be a bit skewed, but I'm just going to make my judgment. This is fucking crazy, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. Like, this is nuts. What other word again? Like, looking at it now, I could understand maybe it's not even really that scary. Like, I don't still think it's totally safe, but it's not as unrealistic as I thought before I watched this video. Because unlike in soccer where the ball has to move on the ground, in the American football, the ball is really on the ground. The players are holding it most of the time. So all you just need is some strong men that are able to run through some snow. That's all you need. Some strong men running through that snow with power. You don't really need that much. So I guess it could work. I guess it could work in this sport. Wow, I love this video. That was nice. I know there was another video you guys recommended to me. Maybe I'll check it out later about the snow stuff or the weather games. So I'll check it out later. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video. Please like the video on your way out if you love this reaction. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.